pick 3. Or not. But it's, I don't know. What is the time? You guys have to be we got another.
Like the endless.
Another one. Another one. Take on his buddies after.
Yeah. All right, let's just go with this right now. Okay, 745 divided by 8. And then if you get finished with it, go ahead and check it with multiplication. Give about 1 more minute. Try to check this with multiplication if you think you are finished. All right, let me jump in here. I cannot get a group of 8 out of 7, but I can out of 74. How many 8s can I get out of 74? Okay, Faith, how many? 9, because 8 times 9 is what? 72. So that's really close without getting too big. And when we subtract, we get 2. And then we bring this down. So Martin, how many groups of 8 can I get out of 25?
3.
Is the most, yeah. So 3, 8 times 3 is 24. That's as close as I can get without getting too big. And when we subtract, we get 1 and nothing to bring down. So that 1 becomes the remainder. So is 93 times 8 plus 1 more, is that the answer? Is that 745? Let's check and see. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 9 is 72. 73, 74. Add one more because of the remainder right there. 745. That's what we were looking for. Right there. Okay.
I still got it right. I got 72 under 74. I just put an 8 at the top.
An 8 up here thinking.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I still got 72 in the whole question.
Okay. Just that part right. So your answer said like 83?
Yeah.
Or maybe one. Okay. All right. Anybody else catch something you want to share? Sometimes sharing those mistakes, that really does help. All right. We're going to do this type of question right now. All right, so if you saw that, what would you do? What would you do? What would we do here? It hasn't been that long since we've done this, so let's make sure we're remembering this. Okay, we're not comparing these two. There's not a blank in between them or a big open bubble. We're not trying to see which one is larger. We're trying to make an equivalent fraction. What would you do?
You would multiply the 4 by 2, and then you would see that 6 divided by 2 and get this and 3 times 2, and then you would get 6, 8 if you multiply both of them.
Okay. So I heard dividing and multiplying in there. You had your hand up. What did you do? Dividing and multiplying? You did dividing. Yeah. If we divided, since we're going from kind of larger to smaller here, we would really go with dividing, even though I know our mind is, if you look at it the other direction, you can think of multiplication. But since we have both of these, let's divide both of these by 2. Okay. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 6 divided by 2, and we can do that, is what? 3. All right, so 3/4 is our equivalent fraction. Okay. All right, what if I put this on the board? Still staying with fractions. Okay, now there's that big open space there that we're trying to compare these two fractions. You got lots of strategies you could use to compare. You can choose the method that you prefer. I want you to see if you can remember it. Okay. Might not remember the name, but you might remember what to do. We're going to talk about them in just a second. I should see one of two, at least one of two ways, maybe more, not just a symbol in between them. Okay. So far, I've seen at least 3 ways that this is being done. All right, if you're finishing up, that's fine. Keep going. What's one way you could have done this? What's one method? Yeah, the heart method. So if you did that, you would have done this. And boy, we can easily see right there which one is larger. Okay, right here. What's another way you could have done this? Because Mason. Steal it and hide it. Okay, so you could have stolen the denominator and hidden it in the attic, stolen the denominator, hid it in the attic, you would have had 4/20 and 15/20. Yeah. Okay, what is another method that you could have used? Yeah. You could have used reasoning. Is that what you did? Okay. Okay. This one, is it bigger or smaller than 1/2? Smaller than 1/2. What about this one?
Over 1/2.
Past 1/2, bigger than 1/2. So that could have told you your benchmarks and reasoning. Could you have drawn a model?
Yes.
I did see somebody working on a model. Could have drawn a number line. You could have drawn tape diagrams. Okay. These two are probably our quickest, our most efficient. That is what I saw most in the room. Okay. All right. You can clear that off and push that to the corner. Okay. We're going to try something a little different approach. We've been on our little journey of adding and subtracting fractions. We've spent a couple days on that already. We're going to keep going. We're going to add just a little something different to it today. It's not that different, but where did I lay? There they are. Okay. So I'm going to call out a group of 3 names because we've got 15 in here today, so that we can have 5 groups of 3. You're not really like getting in a group with those people, okay? It'll make sense what you're doing with those folks in just a second. But I think if I say those names first, it'll help us in just a minute, okay? So, Martin, Ishmael, Caleb. That's one group of 3. Bailey, Isabella, Brandon. Okay. Will, Jayla, Alexandria. Gage, Faith, Mason. Valerie, Kennedy, Reagan. Okay. So just put that in the back of your mind. That's not for something big right now. It's just it's kind of the path this is going to follow, if that makes sense. It doesn't. So anyway, let me explain. All right. So the first person in that group that I just named, I'm fixing to put a piece of scratch paper on their desk. Okay. So let me just do that. All right. I don't need you to write anything. Go ahead and put the tops on your markers too, because I don't want them to dry out. That should be 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. Now, this first group of folks, you're going to be starting us off, okay? And you're going to be writing down what the other folks are going to continue. We may do this a couple of times. So if you have the paper right now, I guess let's do this. Turn it this way. Okay. And, everything this first time up here, think of this paper in about 3 rows. So, what I'm saying is you don't want to slap what we're doing first right in the middle of the paper. Okay? All right. So, I know what I'm thinking totally makes sense up here. Let me see if I can get it out to you clearly with words. Okay. I am going to put an addition or subtraction with fractions problem on the board. Person with a paper right now is going to write the problem on the paper. They kind of got off easy. Okay. Then they're going to take the paper and they're going to pass it to the next person. Now, I'm kind of like, it's going to go this way across the room. If you're not sure who your next person is, let me know. Yeah, you guys are really the only long distance group. Everybody else is kind of within reaching distance, but you're going to have to get yours to Ishmael. Okay? All right. The second person is going to work the problem one way. Okay. And the second person, the last person, you guys are going to work the problem another way. Okay? So when you first see this problem that goes on the board, you're probably going to realize, oh, you could probably do that more than one way. Okay. All right. So you're going to, if you're the last person, you're going to have to really look at how they worked it and go, okay, I've got to do it differently. I've got to do it a little differently. So those of you who are writing first, please write neatly. Those of you who are writing second, write neatly. So that third person can understand what's going on. Okay. Now we're going to give this a try and see what we come up with. Now this is before I've ever really explained anything about what we're doing today, but I think I'm very interested in seeing what you come up with before I start doing a lot of talking. So let me find our problem, and I will put it on the board. Bless you. This is so tiny. Wow. Hold on. It won't let me blow it up, so let me find it in here. There we go. Goodness. All right, so we've got 1/8 plus 3/8 plus 4/8. Okay, now you're going to possibly want to ask me questions, and I'm going to challenge you to try not to. Just try not to. Okay, first person, you're writing it down. Nice and clear. This is one problem. This is one problem altogether. So we kind of want this right here. Okay. All right, don't switch paper until I say switch, but please get it written down so you can switch when we say switch. All right, second person, you're going to write right under it. You're going to start working it out right under them. Hold on. Okay. Everybody good? Everybody's written it? Okay. Go ahead and give it to your second person. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now we're not racing the other groups, but I do need you to get it done. Choose how you think you would work this out. Okay. Underneath it. Right. What you're doing underneath it. Good, because it looks like it's still there. X it out or something. Oh, I know what you did. Isabel. Yeah. That was fun. I see what you did. I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is underneath the problem, you don't need just an answer. Okay? Some of you are just wanting to put just an answer. Okay. How many of you are confused by what I'm asking you to do? Okay, a little bit. Alright. Alright, I was hoping to do this before you, or let you figure this part out, but we will back up a little bit. let me ask you this question. Let me ask the whole room. So let's put a pause. I'll give us another problem to start with. Okay. Tell me one way to solve this. And I don't mean I want an answer. Okay? What do you think I mean?
You do 1 plus 3 plus 4, and then whatever you get right there, you just write the denominator and what you get 1 plus 3 plus 4.
Okay. Anybody want to say something different? Go ahead, Mason.
Write a number line and skip that.
Okay. You could skip count down the number line. Yep.
You could do a number line.
You could. That would be a little harder to do because usually you have the total amount up here. And you do, it's kind of like a reverse number line in a way. I guess you could think of it that way. It's kind of a good graphic organizer. Any other thoughts? Okay. You know what I think? I think y'all are kind of ahead of what the book is trying to get you to do. And so I really don't want to put a damper on that. So I may change my plan right here. Okay. This is what the book wanted to see you do. Okay. Let's put this, that would be 4/8 plus 4/8 equals what? 8/8. Okay. All right, and so they considered that one way. Now this may make a bigger difference when we switch to subtraction. We're going to do both. I'll put that right there. Okay, and then another way was 1/8 plus 3/8 plus 4/8. What is another way? If that's one way, then what is another way? So y'all were jumping right to the answer, which really, I understand why you did that. Okay, what's another way?
4 7/8 plus 1/8.
Okay, put this together first. And then add this. Still equals the same answer, doesn't it? Does it matter when you have 3 things that you're adding, which you add first? Does it really matter?
Yeah.
Not usually. Not usually. Not if it's just simply set up like this. Okay. And I think that was the whole gist, is it doesn't matter which way you do it, you're going to come out with the same answer. Okay. What if, so let me switch gears then. Okay. Whoever has the paper, just ignore the paper. You might need scratch paper a little bit, so just keep it at your desk. Everybody get your whiteboard. Okay? We're just gonna switch gears because this was a suggestion in the book, and if we're already at another point, I don't want to slow us down right now. So let's just all jump in here with our whiteboards. Okay. So let's throw another one up there. My stars, these are tiny. Okay. 1/6 plus, and you're writing this down, 4/6 plus 2/6. Okay. Now, this time I'm just going to ask for some volunteers to share with me how you put it together, but we're going to put together these 3 fractions instead of just 2 today. And your answer needs to be a mixed number. Okay. Your answer needs to be in the form of a mixed number. You have a question? Okay, just hold on. Okay, 30 more seconds. Come on. Answer as a mixed number. Answer as a mixed number. Don't leave your answer as an improper fraction. Okay, if you're raising your hand for the answer, just hold on. Because all right. Tell me one way you got your answer. One way. Okay, Alex, what'd you do? Yeah, like, do you feel like these numbers are small enough you can just do that? Just kind of, yeah. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. All right, so she just went down the row. How many of you did that? You just, okay, 1 and 4, and then 2 more. You just went down there. Okay, anybody do something different? Yeah, what'd you do back here?
So I put 1 6 and 4 6 together, and I got 5 6, and then I plus added it by 2 6, and then I got a whole and 1 6.
Okay, so you put these two together first, and then added this one. Some people even like to, do this so they know, okay, I'm going to put this together first, and then I'm going to add one more and get my answer. Now, do you have to draw those parentheses? Do you have to do it that way? No. All right, that's just one way to think about it. So that some people don't like to have this much to add at one time. Okay? Let's make that addition. Okay, any other, what'd you do?
I added 4 6 and 2 6.
Okay.
And then I got 6 6, and then I added 1 6
And just added one more. Okay. Lots of good ways, anything different. Because by you sharing what you've done, you might be helping someone else know a different way to do it. Yeah. You did a number bond at the end here? Yeah, I hope most of you did. Actually, all of you. Okay. Because I asked you to change your answer from an improper fraction to a mixed number. What do we pull out here? Yeah. Okay. How many?
1.
Just one set, and then what's left over?
1 6.
1/6. And so this is my one whole, and then 1 and 1/6. That's what it becomes. You might have even noticed, 6 6. There's my one whole and my extra piece right there. 1 and 1/6. You might have noticed that. Okay. Plastic bounces. All right, let's try something a little different then. Clear that off. I don't think any of us are finding that incredibly difficult. Okay.
When you first put it up there, I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah, when you first saw it, maybe when you first saw it, I was like, whoa. But then it's just one more fraction piece in there.
You're looking like the cat.
Now the woe might come in here. We'll see. Now, before you start this, let's talk about what you might do. How might you do this? Because this might change a few things. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay? It might in another few problems, but what could you do to solve this? Just know what would you do? Okay, so you would combine this and then subtract it. Okay, but be careful about doing that. Make sure you realize what you're subtracting. Okay? He's saying he would take this together and subtract 5 from 11. Okay? What? Okay, let's go ahead and try to work this out. Go ahead and put it on your board and see what you come up with. And right now, just do it in a way that you're comfortable. You've got another way? Okay, just hold on a second. Some people are just getting started. All right. Ishmael combined these two and subtracted 5 from 11. Reagan subtracted the 4 and got an answer. She got 7/10 and subtracted 1 more and got 6/10. Anybody do anything different? Yeah. I would think most people would do it one of those two ways. Those are probably the most common ways. Okay? If all of them are tenths, you know your answer should have tenths. And it's basically 11 minus 4 minus 1. Basic subtraction. Okay? But what if we had this? Would that change anything that we do? What would we need to do first before we ever started subtracting, though? This is important. Guys, stop writing for just a second. Make sure you hear this. What would we need to do first before we ever started subtracting?
Write 12s under 1.
Okay, we've got to rename that 1 so it matches those other fractions, don't we? We know our denominator is 12, so any number over itself is equal to 1. Cha-cha-cha. All right, stand up.
Hey, I got it. I already stood up.
You knew it was coming?
Yeah.
You got that gleam in your eye. You can't wait. Here we go. This is a repeat after me song.
This is a repeat after me song.
Okay. Come on. Y'all are half asleep. This is a repeat after me song.
This is a repeat after me song.
Any number
Any number
over itself
over itself
is equal to 1.
is equal to 1.
Cha-cha-cha.
Cha cha cha.
Okay. Caleb is right. This needs to become 12 twelfths. Okay. This, it just got a new name. It's the same thing. Then we take away the 3 twelfths and the 5 twelfths. Okay. Got to remember that step. What do we come up with? Go ahead and work the problem if you haven't already. Some of you have already worked that out. Go ahead. Go ahead, Will. What you got? Say it one more time. 5 twelfths. Anybody agree with Will's answer? You got 5 twelfths as well? No? Disagreement? Okay. So if you disagree, what did you get?
I got 4
4 twelfths? Anybody
agree?
Some of you agree with that? Let's check it out. You got 12 and you take away 3. When you do that, how many do you have? You took, okay, 9 twelfths. 9 twelfths take away 5 more would be, what is 9 take away 5? It would be 4 twelfths, okay?
Yes.
All right. It would be 4 twelfths. Okay. Let's keep going. I want to put one like this on the board. Please don't start working this just yet. Yesterday when I was in the second period, y'all know that we did some of this yesterday with 2 things instead of 3, right? Okay. Y'all know that some of our problems had a 1, just a 1 by itself, and we changed it like Caleb said. Any number over itself, like 12 twelfths, 8 eighths, 5 fifths. Okay. We got to doing that, and then when one of these problems came along, I had several people next door. Oh, okay. It didn't matter what was with that 1. They jumped down and did this. Guys, if this is a mixed number, it is larger than 1. It cannot just be this. It's going to have a larger number on the top, smaller number on the bottom. Okay? So this is correct or incorrect. Okay? Now, what do we need to do with that first subtrahend? What do we need to do with that first thing right there that we're subtracting? What? Okay. What is that method you're using? Mad. Okay. I'm going to multiply 5 times 1 and get 5. And then I'm going to add the 1 and get 6. And I'm going to put it all over. I'm going to put it all over what? What's the denominator? Okay. You've got to change that mixed number. All that is changing a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay. All right. Go ahead and finish that out if you haven't already. Okay. If you think the answer is 2/5, stand up. 3/5, 4/5, 1/5. All right, you're correct. That is 1/5. 6 take away 2 puts us down to 4. 4 take away 3 gives us 1. Okay. So, really and truly, that is today's lesson. It's just subtracting or adding 3 fractions instead of 2. Okay? And you guys have just flown through all of that. So, in just a second, we will get started with this. Now, we really and truly have put 2 lessons today. Not just lesson 18, but also lesson 19. Now, lesson 19, so I'm going to I'm going to switch gears here for a second. Lesson 19 is the same stuff. It just has words wrapped around the problem. What? Yeah, I need a dun 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 button. We have one in second period. Do we need one in here today?
Yeah.
There it is.
Dun, dun.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. You know how a button works. The button works if you touch it, you get to, So let's try that, okay?
Dun, dun. No, you didn't.
I didn't touch it.
I can't see you push it, so I thought you pushed it.
All right, I'll make it real big and elaborate for you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. But you can't do that until I push it up. Okay.
Dun, dun.
We are going to have a lesson today that has word problems.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Dun.
All right, so I do want us to do maybe one together. It's been a very long time. I've kind of ignored the word problems that go with some of our things for a while, just to make sure we've gotten good at some of our other stuff. So let me pull one up and put it on the board for us, and we're going to work through this. I want you to see how it's just very much similar to what we've already just been doing. Clear your board off, please. Okay. And put the top on your marker for right now. Okay. So, we're reading about Sue here. I don't know if it will let me blow it up just a little bit. Okay. All right. So, we're looking at number 1 up there. Can you read that for us? Can you see it back there? All right. Go for it.
Sue ran
9/10
miles on Monday and 7/10
of a mile. Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday. How many miles did Sue run in the 2 days?
Okay. Now, this one's not even asking you to mess with 3 different fractions. Okay. Or is it?
No.
Okay. Sometimes, because of the wording, you have to be careful. It might be. All right, so what would our math problem look like? She ran this much on Monday. this much on Monday, this much on Tuesday. How many miles did Sue run in the 2 days? Okay, so what would the math problem, Brandon? What would the math problem look like?
It looked like 9/10 plus 7/10.
Okay, 9/10 plus 7/10. You know, what is that going to equal when we put those together? Now, because it wants to know how many miles, you are going to need to change the answer to a mixed number. Okay? You have a... Okay. Ooh. Go ahead. Okay. What would what would our improper fraction be? 16/10. All right, but if we change that to a mixed number, like we're going to have to, what would it be?
1 whole
1 whole and 6/10. 1 whole and 6/10. So 1 and 6/10. 1 and 6/10 miles. Okay. With that label, that's a complete answer there. Okay, our tops are on our markers right now. Okay, so we're listening. All right, so I'm going to let you try the rest of these because the ones that are on the board are the ones that are actually in the problem set. They don't usually give us 2 different sets. And then we'll go back over them after we've done. Okay? All right, now, with word problems, sometimes it's easier to have something to look at. So if the math problem you get, you feel like you need to draw a tape diagram, you feel like you need to draw a number line, or use one of the other methods we've learned, then pull that out and do it. Okay? All right, so we're going to stop there as far as a lesson, and when we come back in just a second, I'll let you know which problems we're doing and which ones we might leave out. Okay? So let's go ahead and put away our whiteboards, put away our markers, and we'll get ready to start our problem set when we come back.